The web has changed significantly over the years, and its current applications have been almost invisible from its earliest days. Web appearance is usually divided into three categories: Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. So, what is Web 3? And how is it being used, and what problems does it solve? But before we jump in, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel to be the first to watch crypto updates and analysis. The history of the Web 1.0. The first version of the internet was known as Web 1.0. Most participants were content buyers, and the creators were web developers who built websites with the information provided primarily in text or image format. The Web 1.0 era lasted from 1991 to 2004. Web 1.0 is dominated by sites that provide static content rather than dynamic HTML. With little interaction on the sites, data and content were provided from a standalone file system. Consider Web 1.0 to be a read-only website. In many ways, the web as it currently stands is impressive, but there are areas where we can improve. This is why Web 3 has been introduced. What is Web 3? There are a few critical differences between Web 2 and Web 3. Web 3 is advancing online as we know it today by adding a few new features. Indigenously built-in payments that are legally binding. Web 3 developers rarely create and deploy apps that run on one server or store their data in one database, typically hosted and managed by a single cloud provider. Web 3 applications, on the other hand, rely on blockchains and decentralized networks of many peer-to-peer nodes or servers. These apps are known as apps, decentralized apps, and you'll hear the term a lot in the Web 3 community. Network participants are incentivized and compete to provide the highest quality services to anyone using the service to achieve a stable and secure decentralized network. When it comes to Web 3, you'll notice that cryptocurrencies are frequently mentioned. This is because many of these agreements are heavily reliant on cryptocurrency. It offers financial incentives, tokens, to anyone who wants to assist in the creation, management, donation, or development of one of the projects. These settings may provide various services such as computer, storage, bandwidth, ownership, hosting, and other web services previously offered by cloud providers. People can make a living in a variety of ways, both technical and non-technical, by participating in the protocol. Ownership. Web 3 gives you unprecedented control over your digital assets. Let's pretend you're playing a Web 2 game. When you buy something in-game, it's linked to your account. These items will be lost if the game's creators delete your account. Alternatively, if you stop playing the game, the value of your in-game items will be lost. Through non-fungible tokens, Web 3 allows for direct ownership, NFTs. No one, including the game's creators, has the authority to take your request away. You can also sell or trade your in-game items on open markets to recoup their value if you stop playing. Many Web 3 communities, on the other hand, are referred to as DAOs. These communities all have varying degrees of decentralization and code-based automation. Identity. You used to have to create an account for each platform you used. For instance, you might have a Twitter account, a YouTube account, and a Reddit account. Do you want to change your profile picture or display name? You must do this for each account. In some cases, you can use social sign-ins, which raises the issue of censorship. These platforms can lock you out of your online life with a single click. Even worse, to create an account on many platforms, you must trust them with personally identifiable information. Web 3 addresses these issues by allowing you to manage your digital identity using an Ethereum address and an ENS profile. Using an Ethereum address gives you secure access to social media, resistance to research, and a single point of anonymity. Native payments. The Web 2 payment infrastructure, based on banks and payment analysts, excludes people who do not have bank accounts or live within the borders of the wrong country. Web 3 uses tokens like ETH to send money directly to the browser, removing the need for a trusted third party. Future of Web 3. Apart from the fact that Web 3.0 has the power to surpass walled gardens and return power to human hands, there has been criticism of such reasonable ideas. Many blockchain networks, for example, are evenly distributed across the board. Instead, many of these principles are owned solely by beginners or supported by business investment, which means that real power remains centered in the hands of a few. Similarly, the influx of technology bearers like Meta and Microsoft into the Web 3.0 fray has raised fears that it will simply become another walled garden. Finally, Web 3.0 will most likely be developed by various companies working on multiple products in multiple fields for different purposes. It's important to remember that all of Web 3.0's promises are only one part of the bigger picture. Web 3.0 will most likely be built on the foundations of previous internet duplicates, similar to how Web 2.0 is built on top of Web 1.0. As Web 3.0 develops, it will be interesting to see how this plays out. But one thing is certain, the general public will have a say in the development of Web 3.0. After all, the internet's future is well underway. Taking everything into consideration. Web 2 refers to the internet as we use it today, and Web 3 refers to the progression and future generation of the internet. Because Web 3 isn't quite there yet, we don't even know what it will look like. However, we can build a picture of Web 3 and the components it may include due mainly to cryptocurrency projects, many of which have already implemented it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to be the first to watch crypto updates and analysis. See you in the next one.